I decided to join the Mass Media Fellows because after spending the last 7 years in graduate school and finishing up, I felt like there was too much of a disconnect between what I was doing in grad school and what the general public knows about what we do in science. And I feel like science is something that most people really relate to and enjoy and want to know more about, but not something that the scientific community does a very good job, generally speaking, of making clear and accessible to people.
I've known for a little while now that I wanted to be a science writer, and this was just a really great first step.
I'm not sure what I want to be yet in my life. I might want to be a scientist, I might want to be a professor, I might want to be a writer. But I know that whatever I choose to be, the skills that I learned during this fellowship are going to help me, because everyone in all of those fields needs to be a good communicator. And that's what I learned to do this summer.
I decided to join the Minority Science Writers Internship because I'm a journalism and neuroscience major at Emory, and I've always been interested in science writing and medical journalism, so I thought this would be a good experience.
I joined the program primarily because I was wrapping up my undergraduate year, my undergraduate career, and I decided I just wanted to keep writing, that I wanted to push myself into a realm that I was not necessarily comfortable with, and I found myself putting in an application for a science writing internship here.
My favorite part of the summer was just becoming part of a team in the newsroom and getting a feel for what journalism is like, and learning new things every day, researching different stories.
My favorite part of the summer was just being at NPR and being around all of the reporters on the science desk. I felt like they really included me into the fabric of the science desk, and it was so wonderful to be a part of.
I just loved doing journalism. It kind of confirmed the fact that that's where I want to go with my life right now.
My favorite part of the summer was putting to the test whether this idea that's been in my head for a while, that I would like to make science writing and science radio specifically, to put that to the test, and doing that day in and day out was my favorite part.
I'm back to grad school for a little bit, and then I'm looking for a job, and I'm hoping that I can find something where I can continue to communicate science.
I would like to be a professor in the future, hopefully one that communicates with the media quite often.
I want to do this forever. I write about science and tell people about science. This has been everything I hoped for and more, so I cannot wait to do this for a living.
My favorite story from the summer was probably a story about worms glowing blue when they die, mostly because it had a cool visual, it answered some cool questions about aging and death, and also it got noticed by an author on Twitter.
My favorite story was a story about kids at a summer camp who built their own underwater remote-operated vehicles and deployed them in Lake Michigan to see how they worked.
So my favorite story that I'm working on this summer, I'm still working on it. I have a week and a half to go in the paper. It's a story I came up with on my own after attending an HIV summit during my first week of the internship. And it's on using the mobile app Grindr, which is a gay hookup app, for recruitment into HIV clinical trials and also just promoting awareness, screening purposes. And it's great because I think it's a really ingenious idea. They're targeting the demographic with the highest incidence of HIV these days, so men who have sex with men, and taking advantage of the fact that they're so savvy with technology. So it's a great topic, and I also developed it on my own, so I feel like it's one of my babies.
My favorite story that I worked on this summer was a story about, it's a little complicated to explain, but it's about how mammalian mothers, so mammals, female mammals, can somehow control the sex of their offspring. They can determine whether or not they're going to have a boy or a girl. And this just got me thinking about all kinds of things. In particular, can humans do this? Can women control the sex of their children? I don't know, but there's science out there that suggests it now.